All right, now your gallery view should reveal a Z
And
coming in
we'll see if
two.
you or the Bengals cough up a first for Max still. That's possible. Z, how are you today?
Max, my dog.
Football player.
Oh, okay.
Z, you're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen. Did you take a shower today?
Yeah,
Are you playing Candy Crush?
I'm texting my sister.
Do you have your transitions
Wow.
on, Z?
They're not transitions.
They kind of look like
Are
transitions.
they 3D glasses that you stole from seeing the last Avatar movie?
No, it was fuck, what? I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like the only 3D movie I saw.
You're gonna keep it into a tight 90, Craig.
Is it more dick pics?
I took notes.
That's not
Oh my
good.
God.
This is the most notes you've ever taken.
This is probably as wait, more notes probably than I took for all of the seasons combined of Only Murders in the Building.
I would say of everything we've watched so far.
It's the fact that you had to scroll a little puts it in the number one spot.
I usually aim for one or two per episode. This is crazy.
Welcome to this episode of the Prestige-ish Media Podcast. I'm your host, Craig Lake, and with me is someone who never has to hold it when they pee. Jessica Z. Jessica, how are you this evening?
I'm great, Craig. I got empty bladder and I'm ready to record. How are you guys?
Great. And also with us is our own Alabama Whirly, Dan McNair. Dan, how are you this evening?
If anybody here knows true romance, I'm the one filling my bladder. So there we go.
You drink Michelob Ultra and you know things. We're going to be talking about episodes season one, episodes 5 through 7 of Euphoria. The first episode is '03 Bonnie and Clyde, and my tongue's working well early, much like Eugene's. What'd you think of this first episode? Z, you got an initial rating on it?
I have 8 out of 10.
Okay. Anything specific you want to mention before we get into it?
I thought it was like really good dramatic acting.
Okay, yeah, I would say a lot of the acting's pretty decent for the content. Not always like the content of the acting, but think with the material they have, they're generally all doing a pretty good job. Dan, what about you on this episode 5?
I agree with Jessica Z. I gave it a 7.9, which is my highest of the series to date. I felt like things came together and it was just a nice portion. It didn't feel like there was a lot of wasted time. As much as you can enjoy the show, it felt enjoyable what I was going through, and there were some good quotes too.
Yeah, and I think from my side, we mentioned before it's tough to separate some of these episodes. I have a very fine metric I'll use for these three to kind of separate them, but I'm around a 7 on it, which is just above fine. It's fine. So that's where I land on it. We get the open with Maddie and her family. We've talked before about this being like a lost open where we're getting these extended looks at some of these characters at the beginning of these episodes. We find out that she was in pageants. There was some type of abuse case in a different pageant and that her mom pulled her out. I think maybe for whatever you can say about Maddie and maybe the lack of parenting in this show, maybe her mom cares a little bit, you could infer from some of it. So if you're looking for a plus, that might be it. What did you make of this kind of Maddie open, Dan?
They seem to like to harken back to a lot of them as 11-year-olds. I don't mind it so much. I think it's interesting, and I like that we don't get lost there. It just tees off the episode, and then it can go any which direction. So it worked out all right for me.
What'd you make of the Maddie open, Jessica?
Honestly, I thought it was forgettable because I have no notes on it and I don't remember it. But I remember being really excited because I had said, "Oh, I want to know about her background. Why is she such a psycho in this relationship?" And so I guess I was happy to see a little about her. I just wish I remembered it.
I think they talked
I
about.
think
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there is an interesting line where Maddie had no interest in anything, and it made me think of you, Jessica Z.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
yes, she did say that she like wanted to do that, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that's maybe a little Z-esque, but Yeah, and I think they mentioned, I guess, the beauty contest giving her that level of confidence that she wasn't going to get anywhere else, and her initially being bummed about not being in the beauty contest, but then to your point, Dan, just being happy not doing anything really. And we do get a little bit, I don't know here where and different of the her with Nate and her kind of pulling those strings and the Sharon Stone and the fur coat of it all. And so we get a little of that at some point. We also get some of the rumor that I talked about, like more than one person knowing about Nate having the dick pics and the gayness. Like we see that kind of starting to spread, but we see her kind of put a clamp on that pretty early. What did you make of the cat stuff, Dan? Nothing more powerful than a fat girl who doesn't give a. Any comments on that quote?
Especially when they're running downhill.
Oh, Z, what do you make a cat at this point? Does she,
Her confidence is through the roof. It's beautiful.
yeah,
Little delusional, but beautiful.
yeah, I think it's maybe a little much, but to each their own. We end up with Maddie like she's trying to conceal this choke job that she got. And I guess she gets a little lightheaded and almost passes out from coming down from the molly and being hot and wearing her hoodie to cover her choke situation.
Not
Uh,
eating all day.
we see the police get involved. We get an exchange with Jules and Rue on her sexual history. I guess at this point, because it's weird because we're getting like these voiceovers on all the characters, but all the voiceover are in Rue's perspective for the most part so far. And the body count situation with those two, and we get, I do think these like weird Rue breakdowns, why they're always probably like topics I can't watch on an airplane, just the way she's like breaking down these situations of what things she did or didn't give and how, but surprisingly low body count perhaps for a drug addict compared to Jules. What did you make of her sexual history, Jessica?
First, I want to say that I noticed a needle drop.
Okay.
In her elbow or
Just, oh, whose dad was it? Cassie's dad.
Yeah.
yes.
I'm just learning, yeah, people put a harrow in there. But yet, Lil Xan, you and I recognized it immediately. But I think it was like Lil Xan and Noah Cyrus did like a cover of this. Or, I don't know, they came out like at the same exact time. I don't know if it was like his version,
Is
but
this like your Fort Lauderdale days, I'm guessing? Lil
maybe
Xan had to
earlier.
be. Nah, pretty close.
Wait, why? I didn't,
Just I didn't know Little Xan. I feel like he's closer to then, but I could be wrong. Like 2017-ish.
I don't even know if I'm assuming he's dead.
I think so. I had him in my death pool. He might not have died. Anyway, continue. What else
I
you got
like that
here?
Stick Season song.
No, he's still alive. I had him in my death pool, but he didn't die. So, how about that? All right. What
2018.
That's pretty
But
damn
yeah, you're
close.
right.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. You win this round.
Only because
Less
you
less sexual history than I expected.
Yeah,
This is
it's
the most
kind of
mo
it was
normal high
almost
school
more
thing.
than I expected from her. Like just like only because she seems like pretty inexperienced here, like in how she's dealing with Jules. Like certainly the drug side would lead you to believe maybe she's done more, but her fentanyl craze would lead you to believe she was headed down Bad Row Alley. Go ahead.
I was misinterpreting the whole thing that like I thought her seeming like naive and everything was because like she didn't know she was gay. But I guess that's not the case.
I think she definitely knows she's gay.
Yeah, like I thought
Yeah. I thought that for the first episode or the
it's
first
like she
week, but
how would
by
she know her
episode three and
sexual
four,
history?
yeah, she seems like the one that I'm like most curious on is the Lexi thing. I can't figure out which way that bow's gonna break, if I can use a little rockabye baby metaphor. Dan, do you have any thoughts here?
I thought in the show where there's so much sex, I guess it was refreshing that this wasn't yet another person with like a large history to throw in your face on screen and maybe somewhat more discreet. I think we need some characters like that to balance it out. And they're probably the ones I gravitate to.
Yeah, Rue's clean at this point for 13 days. She's really admitting that in front of her narc anon, as Dan calls it. And then I would say she seems like she's turning some corners here. Do you like her anymore these last three episodes, or do you still hate her?
Oh, no, she's like still a horrible person. I think she's gonna stay a horrible person unless she like matures.
Dan, your thoughts on old Rue?
I'm a
Is
little bit easier on Rue than Z is, and I think she will probably have some setbacks, but I'm digging the trajectory.
so we get a situation where what's my note? I've got David on Rue. What is that? Who's David? Why am I blanking?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
And that might be a typo.
David.
She does have that conversation with Ali about I think it's just kind of like this isn't going to end well with Jules is more or less the refrain that we get repeated. And one other thing I was going to mention, we're not to one of them yet, but we do get some scenes where we got like part of a scene earlier, like some of the flashback scenes that end early or some of the sidebars that end early where you get like the back end of them later. And I just wanted to point out that almost like these back scenes at the end of the episodes, we're getting some fill in to other scenes we've already saw earlier in the show. And I think that's just an interesting way that the show's kind of piecing things together. Once again, I think we live in a world where it's happening too much, but this is done pretty well. And also, I got to look at this in the time that it was released as well. And I feel a little beaten over the head with it lately, but I give this show credit for how it uses it. We get like a Rue apology, I think, to Jules, and then we get like a McKay apology to Cassie for their thing at the big carnival dog and pony show. Kat finally puts things together with the mall dude. Maddie and Matt. So basically, Nate's been taken into custody. They question Maddie. I think the coming to Jesus moment for her when they're like cutting off her clothes to unveil the like marks on her. The cop tells her that whoever does that to her doesn't love her, but they mention at the beginning that the like scariest thing for Maddie was she still cared about Nate after all of this. And so we see her, I think at one point she has 273 text messages into Nate. What did you make of all that, Dan?
I was wondering as this unfolds and you see his family like come to the rescue and they're developing plans. I liked seeing Nate being held accountable and the potential of him facing consequences. And I think a lot of seeing that happen, like Maddie didn't out him, and her being such a combustible person and a fiery personality, you would think that there's one way where she's just, oh, I'm just going to go off on you. But she actually tried to conceal it, and the truth came near the surface regardless. So the fact that Nate, the rumors go around and all the fingers get pointed at him, there was a sense of poetic justice for me to that. I really enjoyed it, at least within this episode, how this story moved along. Made me feel good.
Z, anything on Maddie and this whole cop thing with Nate?
Her mom insisting that they press charges. She's like a hero. She's the kind of mom that every girl needs.
I like it in that case. Not that every girl needs a mom to press charges on somebody, but I
No, they
think
just need someone who's gonna champion for the hard that you can't do.
yeah, I think that's fair. We do see Maddie go off on her family and kind of criticize the relationship she has with her dad. And I did think it was interesting. Like, I don't think the way it's being applied is right, but I think the concept of the notable quotable I had was love can be a million things or love is a million things. And I think maybe that's a fair statement. Did you have any quotables from this episode, Dan, you wanted to hit on?
We mentioned Fat Girl That Doesn't Give Up. You mentioned Sharon Stone in Casino. There, I thought it was an interesting observation from Maddie's standpoint that men don't want a person, they want a thing they can control. I thought, like in high school, that was an interesting context. And that might be applied to some men like Nate really well. But I thought that was an interesting observation. And then I just had one other observation, maybe a little further on in the episode.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that she didn't really have Kat to turn to because Kat was just gonna hook up with that dude in the car. She passes Maddie off. We get Cooper in some trans person. He says something about being from planet Venus, I think. But we find out he doesn't want to share like any champagne with Cooper, and Cooper
You
wants to
mean
talk.
Cal?
Yeah, probably Cal. Is that his name? I
Oh,
thought it was like Cooper was the company, isn't it? Nate Cooper. Hang on.
I don't
Nate
know the last name. I probably have it
Cooper.
in a different note.
Yeah, I probably put it from like
I thought it was
the.
like Cal Jacobs.
Oh, maybe that's it. Okay. Cal Jacobs. Yeah, maybe I meant Jacobs, but I digress.
Minako.
Yeah, so anyway, yes,
Minako's the only name we need to know.
Cal Jacobs, Dan.
Okay.
He just kind of wants to like Homelander this trans person. We did everything but milk it. Do you have any thoughts here?
I skipped ahead in this episode with my note taking, but I'm sure Z's got plenty.
What? This was my favorite scene.
Oh my
Of
gosh.
course it
Actually,
was.
Help us out, Z. What do you got
you
here?
boys can call her Mina. The boys call her Mina. But adding to my likable characters list.
Oh, there you go.
There we
Stay
go.
tuned, listener, viewer.
Okay, I'll read the quote. When he's, would you like a glass of champagne? I don't know what the quote was there, but and you go, honey, no, I don't do alcohol. And so you're like, oh, this guy's like in AA, NA. Oh, sorry, this girl is in NA, and but then while he's like singing his woes and just venting and in tears, practically in tears, like this person just lights up. Is that a meth pipe or
He said something. I thought he said poppers. Was that a thing he mentioned? Which I don't know what a popper is, but
I
Wikipedia
think only
says
gays know what poppers are.
it says it's an inhaled nitrate used recreationally. It says it has quick,
Like a
intense, hot.
whippet?
I don't know what. Yeah, whippet. I think is that's
Oh,
like
are those
a.
little nitrous things?
I thought whippet was like from the spray cans or whatever
Yeah,
nitrous.
but
Yeah. It
same
says
thing,
it's
right? Like
inhaled
same.
for quick, intense rush, used to relax smooth muscles, including anus.
Oh,
So there you go. Warm feelings of dizziness, warmth, and euphoria. Say the line, Bart. So we're all learning here. This letter is brought to you, this episode is brought to you by the letter A. Anything else here, Jessica, on your favorite character?
It was so funny. But then when she's like, all those problems you have, baby, I'm here to fix it. All that bad energy, you can give it to me. I can handle it. I was like, oh my God, like this has got to be like way better than therapy. That made me feel like that would make me feel so comforted. I was so worried that he was going to kill Mina. I was like, oh, like this is gonna be like he's gonna turn into a serial killer right
I
now because
definitely hate after, but go ahead.
I don't, she seemed fine afterwards, just
Well, I don't
cigarette.
think this is Mina's first rodeo.
I
I'm
mean,
imagining
she
Jessica Z therapy grabbing a strap on and going to find Mina to get out her bad energy.
she did she did come with a theme song. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, I don't know, just wow, way to say the right thing. They have been around the block. They have learned.
I was
Um,
surprised, like Nate and the dad are like leaving the motel at the same time, and they don't
right?
like you
Well, I
wouldn't
said,
know.
did Nate see his dad's truck? We
His
don't
dad
know.
would have seen Nate's truck. Somebody would have seen someone's truck.
I feel like the dad had too many tears in his eyes. Like he couldn't,
Yeah,
or too
probably.
much jizz. We don't know how
Or
he ends the
glitter,
evening.
some version of glitter. I don't think Cal Jacob takes, he only gives. But yeah, all across the board. And so ultimately the end is that Maddie and Nate are secretly rendezvousing at this point, which is probably not great. Dan, any other thoughts on this episode?
I had a quick note because there's also the scene where Lexi, Rue, and Jules go to the roller
Oh,
rink.
yeah. The one thing earlier, my note was Rue apologizes to Lexi, but
Yeah.
then she still drags her out with Jules again and like half ignores her, but it seemed to be a little bit more enjoyable event. But what did you have in addition to that, Dan?
So the roller rink they go to is the Moonlight Rollerway, and it also appears if anybody saw House of Villains, the season 3 premiere episode 1, that's where Tyson from Survivor takes Paul from Big Brother and whoever from RuPaul's Drag Race as they go on their excursion. Same roller rink.
Also, Moonlight Rollerway is what Mina calls his butthole. So how about that? See,
What other podcast can you get this hard-hitting information from? I dare you to find another.
Z, any
We're
other thoughts here?
I'm just so surprised you have so much like personal intel on Mina.
Mina advertises, let's be honest. She doesn't
He
keep a
actually
lot
bought
in.
Kat's fan fiction about Mina.
I said, okay, so yeah, the skating rink. I just think I feel bad for Jules because I feel like she like made a friend and then that friend complicated it by like professing their love for her or whatever. And then not only did she do that, say, hey, like we should try dating. It wasn't like that. It was like a, will you date me, please? Because you're the only reason I'll stay sober. That's a lot to put on a little girl.
Yeah, so I would say 16-year-old maybe versus little girl. She's obviously living a big girl life.
I would consider a 16-year-old a little girl.
I would consider a 16-year-old underage, but I don't know that I would say little. I don't know. I'd say little girl. That's.
I'll speak for both of
So
us when I say they're a little girl.
I think Jules
I
preempted
don't
that
think
and maybe
little
screwed
girls do
herself.
coke and blow guys. Go ahead.
When Jules said, I can't be friends with somebody that's going to do drugs and kill themselves, she put herself in that position.
Yeah, I think that's fair, Dan. I think it's also fair to say I think the pressure of all this is getting to her, and it like is a lot. But she also knows that I still contend like her and her dad are having conversations about Jules. She said something about Jules talking to her mom about her. Like they have kissed, they have been a little flirty. Like she's not totally innocent here. She's a cock tease. Let's just be honest. Let's call her what she is.
I get to that later in episode 7.
Okay. So
Yeah.
anything
And
else from episode 6 from either of you two?
uh,
6.
Or I mean 5, sorry.
just a couple glimpses of my top 5 not hateable people in this show. So I will tease that.
So, do you want to do that at the end, or do you want to do? Let's do it at the
Uh,
end because that way I'll know more people by
Let's
then.
do
Is
it at the
that,
end, and maybe you guys can try and Family Feud guess it.
are you talking about Ashtray tattooing their lips? Ash,
Is that in episode
your glimpse
5?
of Ashtray?
Was it like Rules or Ruck Fools? What was their lip
You guys can
tattoos?
try and get it out of me ahead of time. I'm not budging.
No, I
I'm
just
not
mean the
giving it up easy
tattoo.
like Mina.
I just remember rules on Rue, right?
I thought it was like Rules or Ruck
Fuck, what if it was
Fools.
Jules?
It wasn't, but I was thinking she might turn it into Jules later. So I
Yeah,
think it
that's
was.
definitely what she was doing.
I think it's Rules. That was what I
I
think
think
happened.
Craig wanted to put his jewels
But why
there.
would I don't know. I would never get tattoos with okay, I would never get a tattoo, I don't think. But especially like with someone, they would have to go first.
If you got it with somebody though, is it like under the lip like better than most choices?
Yeah, like that or on the butthole.
There was like a pretty tough girl that I
That's
knew.
where you
Not,
put your target.
but there was this
It
chick that
just
said
rules around the rim.
there was this chick that was in a high school gang and her gang had beat up this girl and she had gotten this pretty nasty fight that was like on the news in Vegas. But she had beat guts on her knuckles, which
Knuckles?
is pretty rough.
Oh, that's a high schooler?
That's a rough broad.
I would
knew
have to
her.
go to private school in that district. I
I
wouldn't
knew
lie.
I knew her when she was almost 30, but yeah, she made the paper, whatever they got into. I didn't know about it, but somebody else I knew told me it was in the paper. Yeah. All right, episode 6, the next episode. I guess we should make a mention, like, because we're covering so many episodes at once, we're definitely like, I'm not gonna overstay my time on needle drops, but if anybody wants to bring them up, we can.
We already talked about the only one.
It seems though like most of these songs are, or a lot of the titles are related to rap or hip hop type songs. So we've got '03 Bonnie and Clyde, which I think is Beyonce and Jay-Z. Now we've got next episode, which would be Dr. Dre. So it's also the next episode we're covering, but the title of the episode 6 is called the next episode. Dan, initial thoughts and rating on this episode.
I feel like I've seen enough Halloween episodes at this point in time. I gave it a 7.7, like a step down, but not by any means in the bottom half of what I've seen so far in this show. Yeah, the behavior and all the stuff is just, it's all a little ick for me, so it can be a difficult watch, but I found my way through it all right.
Z, your rating on this episode.
6.5. I thought it was choppy and the costumes were irrelevant to me. I don't know what true romance is. And I thought it was too unclear whether or not McCrae, what's his name? I know
McKay.
all I can remember is McKay. And
Yeah.
was he raped or not? Just show us.
Okay, so he was not raped, and we'll talk about it, but
Then
he's
why did he
not.
seem like he was in
He should.
pain?
Right. So I actually went to your favorite Slopping Ground Z Reddit for this just because it came up in my Google search. But there was no penetration. So I thought it was a lot of
Like, how would people on Reddit know?
like I would not cry over no penetration. There was an interview with the actor who said it was not shot, there was penetration. It was not inferred to
Well,
him.
obviously they would not penetrate the actor.
I know, but they didn't tell him like that's what happened. It wasn't in the script. So as far as he was concerned, there was not penetration.
They were really shaken up. That's why it was like confusing because it was like, okay, like they either underreacted or overreacted. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an overreaction to non-penetration for sure, for just a little fake humping.
But an
At the same
underreaction.
point, I can see where the whole scene was a violation, maybe not necessarily in a rape sense, but of a security and of like a way of life that like you could be shook after something like
I'm
that.
just glad, I mean,
Guys, I'm not a frat bro, but my friend was hooking up with this guy and she was my ride, so I was just there. And so naturally I went through his things while they were in his bedroom and I put on his hockey gear, like shoulder pads and like helmet, all that. And I ran in there to be funny and I was like, "Oh, don't forget your protection." And she was like, "Get that!" Like she was, I didn't know they were in the middle of it.
you're a fun nerd.
Sometimes friends get the timing wrong.
So I would just say from like my minor
Cautionary tale, kids.
fraternity days, there was no naked stuff with dudes, thank
Not allowed
God.
to have a sense of humor sometimes.
I'm pretty sure we didn't even take our shirts off. So these guys always have their shirts off together. I don't know what the going on with them.
Wait, you were in a fraternity?
It was a
It's
short-lived
it's
experiment.
the
Bad
well, I
idea.
was supposed to get my letters, and Gay Bob told my girlfriend that I was trying to break up with where the fraternity house was, and I was afraid she was going to show up and get hazed into oblivion. So I basically went through everything, and that night would have got my letters, but didn't because Bob sucks, is the short version of that. But
The
yes.
short version is she wouldn't
Dude,
swallow
it's
the
because you didn't take your shirt
goldfish,
off.
and they didn't do gay stuff.
I didn't
I'm
realize that goldfish thing was like a thing, but it was in a show that I was watching this week that was like super like not related whatsoever. It was like Raising Hope or something. Like it was something very where you wouldn't expect to see that. But I was like, huh, must be a thing.
hope floats. Yeah,
Would
I
Monk
mean,
swallow the goldfish?
I had to carry a pallet down a mountain and eat an onion. Where I almost walked out was when they made us like clean up shit with our bare hands where we were sleeping, like fertilizer. And
This sounds like like court-ordered community service.
I about walked there, but I think I slept on that floor after we cleaned it because we had to like, clean it with what we were wearing to like sleep there. So I mean, I went through that, and then next day Bob gives her the address to the house. So real piece of shit that Bob is. All right, so let's jump into this thing a little bit. Oh, so my rating is a 7.5, and I'm not just talking about the episode, hi-yo, but we get some Sydney Sweeney boob. There's a lot. I want to address the 3 episode blocks. We get multiple episodes with trans boob. We get old lady sponge boob. No relation to
SquarePants?
SpongeBob, but at least we flirt around some Sydney Sweeney boob. We don't live there, but it was enough for me to give it that extra 5 and to separate this episode from the other 2 I watched, if you will. So we get the young McKay background, like wanting to play in the NFL, his dad kind of coaching these different creeds and mottos and idioms into him. What did you make to this intro to McKay, Dan? And where do you rate McKay as a character?
It checked out. I think the actor does a good enough job with it. It's weird that he's like a college kid hanging out with high school students more than he's at college, at least from what we see on screen.
Yeah, just because of his girlfriend, it's hard. But other than that, I would agree. But go ahead.
Yeah, Craig probably he knows how it is. But
Because his girlfriend, it's really hard for Craig.
Let's be clear. Nobody's dating me, but the
high
last girl I
school.
did,
Ooh.
it's a little 19 and over for me, guys. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, like I didn't spend a lot of time on the intro. It feels like in a lot of other shows they do better. The whole kid aspiring to be in the NFL and going through the drills and having a dad that works them hard. So, like, I Z'd through a lot of this intro.
I thought the math of him like not going to make it from where he is, and I think that's like a common it's like a common thing for an athlete to go through. I think like even in high school or different things, like as you're progressing through, you're like, if you're not going to play, you're not going anywhere, regardless of where it's at. So I think that could be a tough position to be in as a freshman. Z, what did you make of the McKay Open? How do you feel about McKay as a character?
He is like the most normal person.
Yeah, I don't.
Like with the most normal upbringing, I think.
Yeah, I think he's on the normal side of goofy, but there are some things I don't specifically like about the character, but I think maybe his
Can I give it
intent
a guess? What
his
is?
intent is better than most. But yeah,
Is he sleeping with your
is this
crush?
is this A Train, Dan, or is it a different actor?
Oh, geez, Craig, all black actors are the same. Shame on you, sir. Oh my
It's
goodness.
Michael B. Jordan.
Isn't his dad the guy in Gen
Isn't it
V?
Mario Van Peebles?
Is this
I
the
don't
guy
know.
that had a heart
Morgan
attack
Freeman.
on Gen V or no? I think they have
Think
the same
so.
dad though, right? So yeah, that's a thing. We get like he doesn't want Cassie to wear her Halloween costume. I think that's like probably a pretty common couple fight. And then her being salty about what she's wearing because it's not slutty enough, but everybody else is being slutty. Been there, done that before, young McKay. And we see like Daniel, who is dressed as Jeffrey Dahmer, I guess. He's
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. They all look alike to me too. Not just the black ones, Dan.
So different looks, those two.
Which one would you
One's
rather?
gay, one's not. One ate
Ted
people, one
Bundy.
didn't.
I thought they both did the same thing generally.
Ted Bundy was like a charmer, and girls like were attracted to him, and he used that to lure them in. And he also
And gay dudes?
faked a broken arm, so they'd be like,
Dan.
"Oh my God, this hot dude needs my help."
Dan, is this about how John Wayne Gacy used to live next to you?
Actually, it was not information I had, but I think it's better suited to the next episode, so I'll save it.
So yeah, that's all going on. Jules won't kiss Rue. To the point also, not just Sydney Sweeney's boobs, but has been mentioned we got a Halloween episode here. I will say, Dan, you've had a comment on another show. I'm trying to remember of which one, but like you using references that aren't maybe timed for the actors or the show.
Yeah,
And
that definitely.
I think this
My
shows,
kids aren't going to know what true romance is. Neither are
and
kids.
I didn't know what true romance was. So we're skipping me, Z, and your kids all in between. I did look it up, but do you have any comments on true romance?
I enjoyed it the first or second time I watched it, but I haven't seen this movie in 20 years.
So
For them to pull reference out here is just singing to the Hollywood chorus. Look how in tune we are.
and so she's dressed as Alabama Worley, and I'm just of the mind that the creator of this show and also the creator of the show that had Johnny Depp's daughter in The Weekend, I think it's Idol, but I think he's just a horny dude and he just puts stuff he wants to see in these things, which that used to be what filmmaking was all about, but not acceptable these days. But yeah, obviously he had an Alabama Worley boner because I don't think anybody else knew who she was.
And it's funny because half the kids in high school seem to know the reference, but we're all like, wait, what?
Daniel didn't.
Hey, those kids are older than high school age.
I mean, I would believe that that Cassie's mom, this could have been one of her favorite movies, that would check out for me. So I could buy that.
Just show
So
me the honey bear bong, and that would make sense.
I think
we've
Mean Girls did Halloween perfectly.
Side note, my local community theater is doing a Golden Girls Mean Girls mashup, but appears to be
Is it the Mean Girls all grown up?
it's like Golden Mean Girls,
Or are they
but
visiting their grandmas that
it's
are Golden
it's the
Girls?
Golden Girls as the Mean Girls, but I think they're like trans, so not
Oh,
gonna
it's
be
like a drag
something.
show?
I think so.
That would be good for B. Arthur.
It's not one I'm gonna hit. So Jules is getting wasted, as we mentioned. She wouldn't kiss Rue. Kat at this point has 4 regulars. Not much difference between them besides
Some
one of
pay
the
pigs.
4.
I'm gonna call you guys my pay pigs, okay?
Dear God.
Dan's girlfriend will be like, what the
We don't know. We don't know early while Jules is getting wasted. We eventually find out that's due to Nate's blackmail scheme. Lexi has been pretty boring, but really high point for her this episode is Bob Ross. This is the most character I feel like she's ever had in an episode. Do you have any comments on the Bob Ross of it all, Z?
She got no recognition till the end when the one normal person noticed her. Bob Ross was basically her not dressing up. I don't know. I feel like she just gets on all the time.
Yeah, and this is Judd Apatow's daughter, and his dad used to buy lights for me, which is weird, but
Away.
yeah. But yeah, I think this was a good episode for her, and glad to see her not just be one-dimensional character. You got any thoughts here, Dan?
Like, I've seen other people do the Bob Ross, so this wasn't the first time for that. But it's interesting that they all know True Detective, but nobody knows Bob Ross except McKay.
You mean True
Well,
Romance, but
I
Or
continue.
yeah.
Bob
I'm
Ross,
assuming
Bob
I'm
Ross is
assuming
more viable than True Romance, though. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the point I'm getting to. What'd you say, just see?
I feel like everyone started dressing up as Bob Ross for Halloween after this episode.
That could be. That could have something to do
Because
with it.
remember, like, just had some like weird, like everyone started doing it, and it's like that's obscure to be popular.
Might be onto something.
Or it might have been when you noticed it. Anything else here, Dan?
Yeah, Lexi's likable, but like the Bob Ross outfit, like, was cringy. Just
I
as
thought it
far
was
as like,
cringy at first, but the more she just interacted throughout the episode, I thought it was a fun bit.
well, and it didn't look anything like the Lexi character, so it was a little bit of, wait, who is this?
Yeah. So one other thing that's going on here that was funny to me that I wanted to point out, we had Kat like drinking and then Jules getting hammered. And obviously sucks for Rue because I know it sucks when you've got to be around somebody that's like clean, but in the same instance, not a great influence for her to be around all this. But then secondarily, I thought it was funny when she mentioned she took, was it like 11 Vicodin and blacked out for 3 days and drank a whole bottle, but then also still somehow made it to school. Anything from you there, Z or Dan?
Nothing. Crickets.
We get, I think we get some, like, we see Cassie's mom hyping her up, and maybe we see the beginning of the dynamic. I think it pays off a little more in the next episode, but like, Lexi does not get the same attention that Cassie gets, obviously, in every which way that can go around. Did you have something there, Dan?
Well, no, I guess the question I'm wondering is who's older, Cassie or Lexi? Who's the older sister?
I don't know, but they got to be only a year apart. So I would assume Lexi's got to be a year younger, I would think, just because she's friends. She seemed more friendly with Gia, or I don't know.
I thought Rue and Lexi were in the same grade because
They were like best friends. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're a year. Maybe she is because they're juniors. Maybe Cassie's a senior, and then it's not as creepy that she's getting porned around. Go ahead.
I do think that like Lexi looked like, oh, I can't wait till my turn, like when Cassie hit puberty
And then it didn't happen.
and she was all like braces.
Yeah, it's just like there's part of that I'm trying to figure out, like who's what class in high school and some of those little things that
I think most of them are juniors. So I think, and it says Lexi is younger. So I would guess that Cassie's a senior and she's a junior. That's what I would guess based on all that.
And yeah, we see the dad give Cassie more attention too, it feels like.
So is Maddie a senior? Why are Cassie and aren't Cassie and Maddie best friends or no?
Maddie could be a senior, who knows? But I just know Rue is a junior. I feel, and we've tied that Lexi string together. I think they're mostly juniors, but I would assume Cassie's, unless Lexi got held back. I don't know. I don't know. We're don't need to solve all the world's problems now.
It's just age, doesn't matter.
So I do have a note that Nate is just like a full-blown psycho. We see him painting or printing out those Jules pictures. I did think we get more of it into the next episode, but like the Lexi and Rue interrogation scene of the brother, I still think that's one of the younger brother, and I think it's like Roy or Troy. She doesn't really care which one it is, but she like drags him into the back room and threatens him, and then she's making up all these names. And I thought she was getting away with it, but I think the name Lexi came up was Weebay. And I felt like at that point she was just like making up anything on that. And then I think Daniel's pretty creepy. We can get to the, climax or lack thereof of it all, or then again later of it. But Daniel's creepiest, right?
I don't think he's creepy. I think that's like the standard
Of course you don't.
fuckboy.
Of course you don't
It's
think he's
standard.
creepy, Z. Of course.
Standard.
Of course you
What
think
was
it's
creepy?
Of course you think it's standard. The fact that he just kept following her everywhere, and then eventually, however many times
In
he
his
said
house.
no. No, we're in Kat's house. I'm pretty sure. We're in Kat's house.
We're in Daniel threw the party.
Yeah.
They said Kat's, oh, maybe the Kat's parents were gone because of okay. So they were just saying that Kat could, with her parents gone, could do all her cam stuff. I thought she was also hosting, but that checks out there. I still think he's
Oh, what
weird.
a creep. He was at
Dan,
his house.
do you have
Oof.
any thoughts about him being creepy?
Only that I was a little bit floored that this is the same Daniel from Kat's flashback that was waiting for her off the bus every day. Like that caught me off guard.
Yeah, I definitely didn't get that till later, and I still blacked it out, and it doesn't totally check out, and he doesn't even remember. But yeah, that's definitely a weird one.
Yeah.
She is what we would think is a slutty nun, but it's from Miss 45, which is another one like that was over my head. I had to Google that one as well. I'm assuming that's not in your wheelhouse either, Dan.
No, and I even blanked out. I don't know what that is. I don't care. But if you have some insight on it, I'd love to hear it.
I just Googled it. I think if you Google it, it seems like torture porny type stuff.
Oh, shit.
Her boning adjacent.
Dominatrix sort of thing.
To me, it's like weirder than Slumber Party Massacre. Let me see. A twice-raped New York garment worker becomes a violent agent
like
of
Colt
revenge
45.
for wrong woman. Not Colt 45, Miss 45. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's. Oh, I haven't seen Colt 45 either.
I'm saying like the gun.
Oh, I thought it was a drink. A 45 like a gun, yes, but Colt 45.
Colt 45 is a malt liquor. Billy D. Williams.
Here we are. I did think Rue, and this is part of, I would think, going through real recovery versus fake recovery, but the more sober she is, last episode, we got the apology to Lexi. This episode, her apologizing to Fez, I thought was pretty cool and good to see them like on better terms again. Like the way the last episode had ended was a little rough. Any thoughts here, Dan?
I agree with you. I think I needed to hear this. And like Fesco's an interesting character. I'll save some of it for the next episode, but this made me feel good seeing this interaction with these two.
I thought it was like interesting her comment that being sober was almost like doing drugs and the highs are high and the lows are low kind of thing. I thought that was an interesting take. Anything from you here, Z?
No, nothing.
So we mentioned it earlier. We get the McGay scene, which is they're coming back from the party. They're starting to bang, and then all the frat people come in. They hold them on the ground. I would be more upset about covering up my girlfriend, or I don't know, like he just seems to be concerned with his ass virginity. It was weird. Some of the dudes had like cod pieces on. I thought that was weird. Like stripping him's naked, one thing. I didn't know why the rest of them had to be half naked. Any comments here, Z?
I thought he was raped. It was scarring for me. I was terrified.
Him crying so much after is weird. And the point that the actor made, and I did get this part of it, like he's trying to get himself back to like where his dad's told him to center himself and don't use emotion. And so that was the other thing I was going to point out of the thing with Dan is we see him like lose his cool on the football field and his dad to teach him to hold it in and use it on the football field. So that was like the value I got out of that early. That's what they were going for here. But I think the crying of it, like, unless there's penetration, I don't think you can cry about that. Dan, your thoughts? I mean, let me say this. More traumatic stuff happened at your bachelor party than what I saw here. And I may have thrown up, but I did not cry. Dan, go ahead.
I think all things can be true, Craig. I did not take it as rape as Jessica Z did. I just took it as a violation of a somewhat fragile person, and that's where I'll leave it.
When I think the other point they make here is that he went from being violated to almost taking that out on Cassie and almost violating her in a different way. Like it was consensual, but and this is where I think with McKay, we see him use sex against her for her. Like sometimes he's slut shaming her, sometimes he's like making her have sex and using it as a way out for their fight. So I do think that's manipulative, especially when you are dealing with somebody that is younger than you. Z, any thoughts on that or anything you want to add there?
We don't know if she's younger than him. She could be an 18-year-old that is in high school, but and he could be a 17-year-old in college. But I don't know. I thought like he was trying to like swallow his emotions, so that meant like even his good emotions towards Cassie. Like I don't think he meant to violate her. He was just trying to get done what he started so he could show that he wasn't affected by his friends not raping him. God, what? Like, guys, like, laugh and move on. I don't know. I guess, like, with her, I would be like, dude, you gotta move out. But he likes it.
So yeah, this all leads to her kind of ending up with creepy Daniel upstairs, like McKay's kind of drunk texting her. Really good on the sister on Bob Ross being able to go in there and pitch hit and really seeing trouble early, like as soon as he even showed up. We end up with Jules in the pool, and I was surprised, like even with her kissing her, like Rue still is like upset about this whole thing. She doesn't let it just put her in a false sense of security. Is this where the burden thing came? Was it in this quote fest? And the quote is from Romeo and Juliet. It definitely sounded like Shakespeare, but I don't know if she said burden somewhere in there. I don't know. That's what I would have taken from all that shenanery, but it seems like it really hit Rue hard. Thoughts here, Dan?
Yeah, I didn't clock if there was like a quotable potable, as you say. I like this was a good Rue episode, I thought. Like she stayed sober, she went to this place. That's got to be difficult. Jules is acting all wild, and like I think she held her ground pretty well.
Yeah, not a good Jules episode for sure. And
Yeah.
somewhere in here we find out we get the blackmail of it all, that she was blackmailed and into that other dude admitting or saying that hooked up with Maddie in the pool. There's
With
this,
Tyler.
and then Tyler being the name is weird, but we get this 3-level like wild things detective setup thing going
I
on to paint Nate out of a corner. Go ahead, Dan.
was gonna say you're getting into the next episode borderline here a little bit.
Yeah, it's the end cap that explains, like, I think we need the, like, why is Jules such a wreck here? But yeah,
You
Z
get
did,
some of it. I was gonna say like earlier on when just Jules was texting Nate through the app and the name was Tyler, I was actually thinking maybe it might be the other dude from the party, the real Tyler. And
yeah.
yeah, obviously, we see through the course of the season that's not the case. But Tyler being the name and he resurfacing in the season here late did tie all that together.
Z, did you have anything on the Jules native at all here without getting into episode 7 too much?
I think he's gonna ruin her life.
Yeah, not looking. Nate seems to be a problem.
He really
What did you think
is.
about his choice of a costume? That seemed a little too on the nose.
I think it had to be. I think that was the point, is this is them like coming out back in public again. And so that's him psycho that he is, having a good sense of humor. The most disturbing thing to
Classic
me,
rich white boy getting away with murder.
uh,
There you
to,
go.
to me, he hasn't murdered anybody yet, but I
And
expect so. Yeah, I think to me, like the most concerning thing was everybody chanting for it. And it makes me think that if I was 6 inches taller, I could have got away with murder. But we
we
Like
are where
that
we
was
are.
disconcerting, but like the look he gives Jules while he's making out with Maddie, that was cringeworthy too.
Yeah, tough to see there. I don't know how to rate him being a straight trapped in a body and his feelings for this other one. Go ahead.
Is your height the only thing holding you back from murdering someone?
No, I just think I would have taken it's the only thing that held me back from taking over the world, I feel like, because he can pretty much get away with anything.
Ted Bundy was tall.
As we move on, I thought
In the brain, we're not.
the
Oh,
Dan
and I think that Nate is creepy.
yes, of course. I mean, he's psycho, but and we don't really know until later what the pictures are for. So we're only like, like at first I thought he's just is he gonna whack it to him or
Craig, like
something?
you would follow Sydney Sweeney around your house if you invited her to a party and she showed up.
Yeah,
Could I get you anything?
I
Do you
don't
need a
feel
boob massage?
I think credit where credit is due that I wouldn't just like
Yes, I do need a boob massage. That line works
I
a lot.
yeah, but I
I
wouldn't
was
like
gonna call my masseuse after this. I'm so glad you asked. It'll save me so much time.
I don't think I would be like, can I fill you up? I can't like this, I can't that.
Yeah, but but if she made out with you at the carnival right beforehand
Let's be clear. I don't pressure girls
and
into doing
humped a
things.
carousel in front of you,
I don't pressure girls into doing things they don't want to
You
do.
massage AI boobs, Craig.
he wasn't
Um,
pressuring her like earlier. And then of course,
he
like I don't
put,
know.
I mean, it's half of one, six of another, but I've never been to somebody I wasn't like actively dating, like jokingly, oh, it hurts so bad. That's more of a funny relationship joke than a rape joke.
I explained that they had like background of like constant like sexual tension though.
I think your idea, like you have a very like de-escalated sense of danger, and I think that's been well established on this podcast. And thank God that
I
She's
oh
thinking it over.
I think that he broke Kat's heart and her confidence, and I'm so sad.
what do we make of Ethan though? I think what Kat did to Ethan is equally as bad as what and
That
that's
is.
I think you guys need to watch Rules of Attraction because show
Nope.
is definitely inspired by
Since
it.
you've
You mean Road
mentioned it, I'm
Rules?
remembering more of seeing it. I'm just trying to remember who the hot girl was.
Jessica Biel.
I don't know if
It
you have my
Was.
butthole
That
tattoo, but it
was.
says Rules of Attraction.
So anyway, but it's just that it's this kind of that sadistic thing of this person likes this person who likes this person, and it's all, and that's basically what this show is. It's like a human centipede of dating, and they're just all in each other's mouths.
We know Craig loves trains.
A train. So yeah, I don't know where else we want to end here, but yeah, I thought Ethan got a bad deal. I will say that. Knows his way around some cunnilingus rice. I assume that's the first time that Kat's finished with a man. Go ahead.
In all fairness, Ethan had a happy ending.
He was
Yeah.
satisfied. He satisfied himself. Wait, that made me feel like he was so turned on by her that like he could please her and get off, and it just made me feel like he like truly likes her, and that's she like deep down that is what she's looking for, but she has this wall that she's put up where she thinks she needs to just look, I know you don't love me, but this guy he could love her and she just won't be nice.
Some might say she craves him physically.
There are some women out there who will decide they don't like you before you cannot like them as a defense mechanism.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so. And it's yeah,
all of us.
I felt bad for Ethan. What was your dog and pony show, Dan? You doing meat
Well, I
flask?
was
He was
trying
doing meth.
because not everybody sees the video of what kind of women do that certain behavior that I was talking about of the rejection.
Is this
But
the thing? Is this the Curb Your Enthusiasm thing? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know what you're doing. You're going for
I
an
thought Dan
oyster.
was trying to say, "Ah,
There's a thing.
Ethan's got a massive
There's a
dick."
funny thing on Curb where he's like, it's not like small penis, it's big vagina. And he's what? It's this. It's not this. It's not this. It's this. But anyway, I think
You
that's
guys talking about me?
That's an underrated bit on that show. We get McKay talking to his dad, which you kind of wonder where the other shoe's going to drop with that. Is Cassie distracting him from football thing? We get Nate back at poor Tyler in his neck brace. To be fair, undetermined how old Maddie was. I think we end up on her being 17 though, but yeah, definitely him being at that high school party at 22 probably wasn't a good look for him. What else we got here at the end? Anything you have here, Dan, kind of closing out this episode?
No, I'm ready to move on to the next one myself.
Z, anything else from you on this one?
Nate's so scary. I would have pissed myself if I was Tyler.
Who's scarier, him or his dad? I think they're equally
Okay,
dangerous, but
why
Nate's
is his
probably
dad
worse.
so calm? He makes me feel like I wouldn't get so upset and frustrated with my kids if I just banged a tranny once a week.
They remember.
If it got all the evil out of you,
Like he like something about it just makes him be able to just take
Are you-
anything that comes.
Are you saying
Nate
that when
freaking pushes
he
by him, he shoulders him,
are you
and he just
evil
doesn't.
shaming the trans community, Z? Are you saying he puts all his evil in them?
No, they suck it out of him
That's what I bet. Where does it go? How it
in their
goes?
butt,
That's what
transactional.
I've been saying.
and then they shit it out.
Nate's worse.
Yeah, I think
They just get it on the rebound.
I think
They
and I don't know, but figuratively, these people exist. They're like the mom-daughter porn team, but like a serial killer team where they just do it together. I feel like that's where that would be their true happy spot besides taking loads from trans.
I don't want them double teaming these prostitutes.
I just meant like murder double teaming, not taking loads together.
Wait, so was Jules on like a prostitute site? How did she end up where all these other ones ended up?
They're on like Grinder. She's on Grinder, basically.
Wait, so this was for free?
Which I only know about from Bob. Yeah, no, she's doing it for free.
But Mina definitely had to have been there for work, right? Because
They
she was
just-
like, "Oh my God, you're actually hot."
Dude, Gay Bob got it first day on Grinder. I mean, they just pass each other.
No, but like,
around.
I mean,
it's a free for all. No,
I mean, she looked like a
This is-
pro. Like,
this is why I've always said it'd be so much easier to be gay. They just pass it around. There's no rules over there.
So there goes our gay audience.
You guys are a full chore.
wait, do you have the rules tattoo around your butthole too?
No, I do not have any butthole tattoos. All right, episode 7. Are we ready to do this thing?
Let's go.
Trials and tribulations of trying to pee while depressed. Dan, this is up there in episode titles in length and girth. Any comments on the episode or the title as a title lord?
This sounds like a Fall Out Boy song. Being that I need to pee right now and I'm not that depressed, like it's still hitting home for me. I actually gave this one a 7.5. I didn't enjoy it a ton. I like the way the last episode kind of tied everything all together at the end. But here we go a little bit backwards to see, I think, how all that happened. And the backtracking lost me a little bit.
I thought this did move the plot forward, but I can understand what you're saying with the backtracking. But I would say ending with this episode, I almost most want to see the next one of any episode we've seen so
It
far.
was also a Cassie episode, so I'm sure you would rate it a little higher.
Z, go ahead.
11. I gave it an 8.5. I like the opposite of Dan. I said that I liked that the characters like pieced together things in 1 or 2 episodes rather than like making a whole season out of it or whatever. Like it was nice. Also, and like more comedy and also a little like a new plot, like with a new, is this gonna be the end of Nate, you know?
I've got this as a 7. She's too young in this episode for me and no boob. So this is a 7 for me. But let's get into it. So we do learn about Cassie's dad, who's a little bit of a playboy, but it seems like both parents are a little amorous at different times. We learn that Cassie's kind of like an ice skater, which I thought was an interesting dynamic, and that she's like dating an athlete, but they don't really talk about it. And nobody knows that skating's a part of her life, which is interesting.
I feel like every ice skater is that way.
And we see like her progression of, do you skate in your free time, Z, that we need to know about?
No, but I found out that I had like several sleepovers and hung out with this chick like
I've heard about those.
maybe twice a week for the whole summer. And then sporadically, like once like she was in school, I was working and drifted apart in friend groups. But I don't know, she has the most amazing wardrobes. Like I kept up on social media. And 4 years later, I find out that she's like a like pro level ice skater. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't ask people about themselves.
So Z knows a pro level ice skater. Dan, do you have anything on this open? We got a lot with the parents fighting, and I think the mom, I don't like seeing her on screen. Like, she is a pretty good actress. Maybe the lesbian sister of the Penguins mom in that show on HBO.
Oh, geez. Craig
Is
sees
she
no age,
famous?
ladies and gentlemen.
Is she
Uh,
famous?
the mom, I don't know the mom, but she seems like,
I
I think
looked
I
her
said,
up and she was in a bunch of things that I'd never seen.
yeah. And if
What if she's not a good actress and she's just hungover?
it could be. And I think it's a borderline. Like, it's a borderline between a tropey actress and a good performance. And I think,
Kind of like Angus Cloud.
I think at one point I was like, what if the mom was Jane Lynch? I think at one
Oh,
point, because
I love how Craig likes to throw Jane Lynch into any
Dude,
role.
if Jane Lynch was the mom, it would make every conversation about Cassie being beautiful like way different.
In
yeah,
baseball, they have a metric called WAR, wins above replacement.
this
I
wins
think Craig
above
in
Jane
casting has
Lynch.
wins above Jane Lynch.
I think that's a fair rating, the Jane Lynch Doza line. So yeah, the dad falls asleep driving home from work. They drug him up in the hospital, and that's why I can't get pain pills when I got a kidney stone. And they torture me and Jessica Z's dad until we wank it out of our system.
My
Watch
dad didn't do
episode
that.
one, Craig.
What's that?
Just watch episode one. I'm sure you'll be rid of that kidney stone in no time.
Z, anything else from you here? Anything you want to comment on her childhood background?
I think my dad sent us that he got rid of his kidney stone while me, Gary, and the kids were at Monster Jam.
We know what happened.
Oh no.
He
Wow.
finally banged your mom. He did know about the doctor told him to bang her mom. And she's, I'm not doing that.
And I said not because he told Craig like the doctor did say that intercourse could help. And I was like, not with my mother.
Until she
No
went
one puts
to
their kidney stone in my mom.
she went to Monster Jam. Dan, anything on this? That was a pretty comprehensive background here.
Yeah, I thought it was good and interesting. I was curious about the dad character. I do also want to say, like, one of the other shows that we were considering watching and we wound up on Euphoria. I did wind up watching a first couple episodes of DTS St. Louis. And
Hmm.
in the intro here, the mom and dad character parallel to some stuff that goes on in that show. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, I didn't see great ratings on it.
It hasn't been.
Okay, so yeah. So glad in that regard, other than maybe the amount of episodes we have to carry is a little bit of a heavy lift. So yeah, the dad ends up as a drug addict, steals plates, and she never sees him again. Yeah, all kind of sad. And then we kind of get into the ex-boyfriends all wanting the same thing from her, which honestly it didn't seem. I know that what you mentioned, Dan, but I think for the history that she's reported to have, maybe the body count isn't actually that high. It's just they all want to film it and then it gets passed around. And so, yeah, kind of rough here for her.
That's
I
high
feel
for high
bad for her.
school.
It's four. What are we talking about with Jules? I mean, Jules has got in and out of her for crying out loud.
She's a troubled youth.
What makes her troubled? Z,
She's
do
a
you wanna
straw.
elaborate why you want to say
Yeah,
that
she
she's
has gender
troubled?
identity issues.
Oh,
Comes
geez.
from a broken home. She, oh, she is
Did,
Not a
whatever, but
licensed
what did her mom
psychologist.
die? What happened with her mom?
mental illness. Wait, her mom
Oh
just
yeah,
like
just left because she was tired of like her
she's like an
cutting
addict and
herself.
stuff, right?
I don't know that we
Yeah,
know
A
at the end of
sleepy
that story,
cigarette
but
yeah,
smoker.
because she was tired of watching her daughter cut herself.
she had problems.
Go ahead.
What I will say, the interesting part of the Cassie backstory was that like she fell in love with every guy and was like just very susceptible and would fall into it. And I wonder, viewing like the failures of her parents, how much that played into it. So
Yeah, no, I think that, and then just her ease of attention from everybody as she developed or what have you. Now, last episode we got the tampon box flash, but this episode we get the pee test early. Did you guys catch the pee test early? Because I was like, why do they keep showing the tampon boxes? And I assume the pregnancy test was right there.
I saw it immediately. At first, I was like, oh, she's looking at the tampons, realizing that Lexi's probably got her period and left the so Lexi had the tampons out. And because I'm assuming they sync up because they're sisters. So she's, oh my God, I didn't get mine. And then I saw the test and I'm like,
Oh, interesting. I was wondering if it was like if Daniel got a little blood on the field or something from all his like attempted fingering, if that was going to get him like caught later or something was going on there. But it was the pregnancy test. So she's assumed pregnant. Dan, where do you stand on Love Island?
So I haven't seen as much Love Island as like the gamut of all the reality shows that I watch, but I have seen just about everything that Love Island people go on to do when they wind up on another show. So don't know a ton of it, but my kids are into it, and if I had Paramount Plus or whatever, Peacock or whatever it's on, I'm sure I would be all caught up.
Z, where do you stand on Love Island?
never seen it.
That is crazy.
Is
Now,
it on Netflix?
is Rue's take on this similar to why you guys watch
90 Day
reality
Fiance.
shows? Is
Yes.
it like because it's like such an
Yeah.
easy lift of a watch? Dan,
Like,
you can finish your thought.
I can't watch any of our shows while I'm like actively doing with the kids. But like
Yeah.
a lot of times I will just have one AirPod in and be listening to 90 Day Fiance because like I already know what everyone looks like and like I can imagine them. So the conversations, like I don't need to hear everything. I can tune in when I want to.
You do that anyway. Dan, what about with you?
I think that Rue's point is that like when you're depressed, it's almost good to have this on because it makes you feel marginally better compared to the people having petty fights and acting out in all these ways. So you can do a marathon and not have to think too hard and not have to take notes and not have to podcast about it, but just let it play out in a way that kind of lifts you up marginally while depressing you.
Yeah, I think reality TV depresses me more, which is why I don't engage in it.
You're going to be
And
on The Golden Bachelor.
I will say that the gal that I picked out of the mess of Mormon wives that you made fun of me for seems to be the breakout star of the group and is the Bachelorette. But yeah, as far as
Who is it?
the one that you guys didn't like that I said was I picked as the hottest one that you guys had
Well,
as like
he
3 to
picked her
5.
while like she was pregnant, which was very un-Craig.
You don't know what he likes. High schoolers can get pregnant too.
Jesus. Guys are
Case
dicks.
in point.
So yeah, I would say for what you're talking about, Z, is really what I listen to podcasts for, I would say. And then when I'm like at night not doing heavy lifting, I just watch the same shows that
Yeah,
you
I
guys
like-
hear me reference every day over and over again. Go
More
ahead.
Simpsons.
Simpsons,
the
Always
same, and
Sunny,
I, like-
The Office,
I ran
American
out of
Dad.
podcasts.
Like, you don't listen to ours, that's for sure.
I listened to a full minute. And like
Really.
most of like my podcasts that I go back to are true crime, and like sometimes like I can't like just do like an art project with my kids while listening about like crime.
So I did think it was funny that Cassie was fishing for a conversation with her sister on talking about the pregnancy thing, and the sister just assumed she was fishing for compliments, and she just everybody tells you're hot, it's exhausting, shut the fab. So that's about the biggest outburst we get out of Lexi, I feel like. Real interesting thing, 172 muscles per step to go pee. To me, it's like when you're trying to sleep, or if you are watching something, I guess, that I don't want to go pee. When do you not want to go pee, Z? Is this like showering takes 172 muscles, or what's your version of holding your pee?
I like went to the zoo 2 days ago, and I don't like to use public bathrooms. I like bring a potty in the car for Eleanor to use, and then I just dump that wherever. And
But you use it too, you're saying, or
no, I dump like her
Eleanor's?
piss wherever. Like I am like an adult, I can hold it. I'm not potty training. And actually, she like never has accidents. So I don't know when to stop saying potty training and just saying she's a kid. But I drank 2 bottles of water and one Diet Dr. Pepper. And I did not pee the entire time. And then we got home and I showered the zoo off me. And then I did something else.
Is that your
And then we
kids
had
or
dinner.
the
And then I
zoo?
was like, you know what? I should pee. Like, I haven't gone pee all day.
Dan, do you have any pee insights you want to share?
I had to pee for the last hour. I'm about to die over here right now.
Is it
It's
because you have diabetes?
diabetes.
If there was a Gatorade bottle close by, this would be a whole
You're like
different
a
podcast.
like a
Uh,
UPS driver. Have always not liked peeing anywhere but my house, unless I'm drinking. But so my doctor taught me if you tickle your thighs, you can make yourself relax enough to pee, and it
Yeah.
really works.
Yeah. My biggest thing is like peeing on road trips or trying to get home to pee and then not wanting to pee in my sleep. And then when I finally do get up, trying to get it all out so I don't have to pee again.
I like can get it all out. I don't know. I don't really have
And I
any issues
always,
with pee, and I'm super thankful that I definitely noticed differences with my pelvic floor since my C-section and like being pregnant with the twins, but I have been able to jump nonstop on our trampoline with them without issues. So
congratulations.
I don't know. Don't you see like moms always being like, oh, like I can't jump or I'll pee?
Yeah, it is a thing where they talk about it all the time for
I think
sure.
they're lying. They're just trying to be cute.
I don't think that's the one that's cute.
I don't think that depression makes you not able to pee. Like this whole episode was confusing to me.
I think it I think where it was coming from is because she had that incident outside of her room and just not wanting to leave her room. I've had
Wait, what incident outside of her room?
with the dad being replaced by the boyfriend and her one, she didn't like the new guy over at the house, but then also she probably upset the mom with what she said about the guy. So it's both the feeling she had for her dead dad and feeling bad about saying something but not liking the situation in front of her mom. So I could see not wanting to leave your room after that to be confronted with the reality of that. And then you combine that with what's going on with her girlfriend who just wants to add to the body count
Oh,
while she's in her room. But what I would say is,
not getting enough attention, and she's like creating this piss issue. Oh, I can't pee.
I was gonna say, I remember there was like my first big like breakup.
You didn't pee
Uh,
for a week.
no, like all I did is I literally stayed in my room and I went down for like grapefruit juice and peeing, and that was it. And I played like this computer game for 3 days. So probably similar. I don't know. So yeah, let's
Animal Crossings.
as Rise and Rule of Ancient Empires, it was an old computer game, and the guy across my street, like I'd feed his animals and he would give me like old computer games. And
Thronglets. It was Thronglets.
it was Thronglets. It's a Black Mirror reference. So yeah, Jules says she's sick. She's hiding in her room. I thought the Rue and Lexi like detective thing carrying over in a more significant way in this episode. It is like Damon dream sequency, but I think maybe because it's more obvious, Dan, maybe more likable. What did you make of the Rue as the detective?
Yeah, I think that's the best part of the show, whether it's like the dick pic like visual aid or this like 70s style detective show that none of them would have any basis of understanding for. But I thought it was funny. They're wearing the badges and they're going to work and they're clocking in. And I did appreciate that Rue basically figured the whole thing out by using the clues that we of an audience have already had about the Tyler and the times. There was something there that clicked for me that it just made sense within this universe.
Yeah, anything from you there, Z?
Oh, dude, I loved that whole thing. The like it reminded me of True Detective.
Certainly,
And
the floor scene with the pictures around her was probably the most True
Yes.
Detective. Go ahead, Z.
Yes, I thought that.
she really is like a really good actress because she plays Rue pretending to be like playing a detective so well. And then even to the point where like her mom interrupts her and she's like, "Are you pouring coffee into the water filter?" Because she's a kid and not really a detective. But she was trying to act like she was playing detective just for, us. But it's just funny because she doesn't drink from a coffee pot.
I think it's interesting too in that you've got this person that is smoking, whether they're really smoking or not, or drinking coffee, but as a former drug addict, like I would think she would need something to keep her from lapsing. But I guess if she's not really doing this thing, that kind of falls apart. But assuming that she was smoking some or starting to drink coffee, being off drugs would make sense. Go
I
ahead.
do think if she does not have someone's like undivided attention, she like cannot deal with herself. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought the thing keeping her off the drug was her drive to figure this out. So like
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
trying to
Well,
solve what's going on with Jules was her drug.
She's
we
only doing that with Lexi. Then she like lays in bed when Lexi's not available.
I think what we saw there is just more of this like manic episode where she goes all the way until it's just exhaustion and then collapses into this depression, which I'm not as familiar with manic episodes, although people could say some of my borderline autistic interests and things could become manic. Some people could say that, I
Like
would assume, but
wrestling.
I'm not as familiar like with like textbook definitions of manic other than I know Mr. Toad had manic episodes like when he
Oh,
would
you probably
like
get excited.
but I'm more familiar with bipolar than manic, but I assume they're like lesbian kissing sisters. Anything from you there, Dan?
No, at risk of litigation, I will not comment.
I thought the predominantly het thing was like a thing, a quote, and her saying she was a genius. And then I thought her just aside, obviously, I'm not a fan of this, but just the way the line was delivered, the like very nice dick, very clean room, her like that part of the analysis to Lexi, I thought that line was delivered very well. Anything else from you here, Z?
I wish that someone would have connected, like, Nate doesn't have a nice dick or something like that. Just from that little line, I thought that's how they were going to figure it out, but they didn't need that. They eventually got there.
And I think that was like her one area of struggle was I think she said something like he was like physically blackmailing her or there was something that she was just a touch off, but I think it made sense for her to be just like a half beat off. She couldn't have all of it wrapped up. We get Cassie trying to like get all her friends together. This, I don't know what you'd call it, but this like king's round table of whores. But you've got Kat, Lexi, Maddie, and I don't know who that other friend's name is, but she
I'm
did.
wondering her name. I'm
I'd
really
seen
curious
her,
about her.
but she delivered a few good lines here. We got her with the world star thing, and I think no surprise, Maddie said, and to be clear, she wanted to bring up the pregnancy thing, but they actually only talk about the Daniel thing and the lie and confessing and yada, which it might make sense that also being why it's rough for Kat. I don't know. I think everything for Kat's maybe just coming to a head, but no surprise that Maddie's deny, deny, deny. We do get Maddie on Kat and saying she misses the old Kat and calling her, which the friend says star at one point. She had one other line that was pretty good. Anything from this you want to hit on, Dan?
No, like in retrospect, I feel a little bit bad for Kat, but this is also in a lot of ways very realistic for high school girls.
And it's also some of what Kat's signed up for, I feel like, with
I
some of her actions.
I said normal girl group drama, they will be friends still after this.
Did now,
It keeps them in check.
I feel like the pregnancy thing is more of a one friend confide in versus like a king's round table, which obviously she doesn't confide in the group. But what's your take on that, Z?
My friend Elizabeth told like a lot of people, especially when she invited us to her baby shower.
She was gonna have the baby versus
Didn't she think she was keeping it at this point?
I don't know until she really had the
I
conversation.
don't think she ever considered getting rid of it until McKay.
Yeah, I
I
just
might agree
that's
with you there.
I don't disagree with you, but I guess
She
yeah.
was like, "Holy sh I'm having a baby," instead of, "Holy, what should I do?"
Yeah. No, that's fair.
You would love a girl like that, Craig. If anyone's
To
listening
not
that
kill my children, yeah, that would be great.
that wouldn't abort his child, reach out.
Greg doesn't want a person. He just wants something he can control.
Oh, yes, if you're a girl who likes to be controlled and
Thanks.
you're
So
between 19 and 19 and a half.
I did have a kind of interesting note. I felt like Kat walking away crying maybe also had raided the Penguin's mom wardrobe this episode.
He's-
But what we get like Gia, I would think that the mom and sister would think that Rue was like doing drugs as opposed to just being depressed. But I guess the mom's also used to her being depressed from before. But that would be a weird line. If I saw her being that painful on the floor, I wouldn't think it was because she didn't have to pee. I would think something else was going on. And a little surprising that the mom's been like helicoptery and not here now, but also she's got this boyfriend thing going on, so that could be part of it. Anything there, Z?
I think her mom like has not been helicoptery. Honestly, it's frustrating because you know your daughter has this problem, but you're like you can't trust them at all. But we went through it with my brother. I got so frustrated with my parents when they just wouldn't like, oh, he's an adult. I can't do whatever. And it's or even when he was like living with them and was still a kid, they were just like we go to bed at night. But yeah, I doesn't make sense to me. But I think Rue has appendicitis. This does not sound like depression at all.
I
I
know
don't
that
understand why she can't pee.
there's somebody that like I think it was like the when the Wii came out coincidentally where they were supposed to not pee for the Wii or whatever.
I think that was a Sacramento radio station that
And
did
like,
like that
didn't that guy like
contest.
die or his bladder burst at minimum? Like, it wasn't
Yeah,
good.
I can't remember how bad the stakes were, but it was pretty serious.
I did a whole
Yeah,
camping trip without peeing when I was little. It was just one overnight though.
you're just a professional, Z. What can we say? So, Dan, you got anything here?
I was just gonna say they keep showing through the episode like this kind of health class like video of like the insides of the human body. And they're referencing Rue, but it's a neat double entendre that your kind of first thought is maybe this is what's going on inside of Cassie.
Yeah, and I
Um,
didn't know if they were going back and forth on that or if it was all Rue. I was a little confused there. Think we were definitely in Rue's bladder at some point, though.
yeah, I think that's where it landed. They joke with us a little bit that way, so that's clever.
Miss Frizzle, eat your heart out.
Who is that mom's boyfriend? Okay, he was Melissa McCarthy's husband in a movie.
I
Dan,
was
do you have
wondering where I might have known him from. I was going to ask that.
Was it
Dan?
Tammy?
Dan's really been slacking in the 6 degrees of Dan's actors
I'm
category.
I'm
Hey, I
Dan
picked out
now.
the Moonlight Rollaway, so give me
That's true.
something.
That's some obscure that only Dan could do.
He also knows a lot about Mina too, so you didn't take
No,
that
that
into
was
consideration.
you.
Craig's looking up Fedgemina.
So
Craig's like, how to get Mina
now
10 years younger.
I know it's a little confusing on the timeline here with Rue, but like she's eating breakfast cereal. It seemed like it was the morning, but I guess maybe it was night, but I thought it was light outside when that guy was at the table.
Maybe 6 p.m. Like they're just out of work, so they're getting
Okay,
together.
because I noticed they were drinking wine, and if it was morning, that would have been a little odd.
I'm probably never went to bed.
There's never a bad time for cereal.
I thought you were gonna
I
say
think he was thinking
wine.
about the wine.
Yeah, no, but the wine was my concern, not the cereal.
The
I
5
have to
o'clock somewhere, Rue. Good morning.
I have to not keep cereal in my house or good cereal so I don't rue myself at midnight.
It literally same.
Yeah, it not doesn't go well. Yeah, little Rue being a little cunty. What did you make of that exchange with the boyfriend, Dan? Like I was mentioning to Z, I thought she was both upset about the dad, upset about the boyfriend, like all at once. I think she said what she thought, clearly, but any thoughts from you here?
Yeah, that played out. It was uncomfortable, but I didn't really like the guy, so I'm willing to give Rue her due.
Yeah, and I thought it was well delivered, and then even her walk back of it was pretty funny and understandable in some ways. Let's talk about the big sponge bath scene with Fez's mom, question mark.
Oh yeah,
Um,
how'd you like those tits, Craig? Want to
um,
play fuck,
I
marry,
wish I had,
kill?
I wish I had two more hands so I could give them four thumbs
All right, you got
down.
Jules's tits, Cassie's tits, and
Oh,
Fez's mom's
Jesus.
tits. You got to kill one, marry one. Whose
God,
titties are you?
I guess I would. Jules tits, I guess. God.
All right, pervert. She's
I'm not
16. Go
Wow.
on.
I'm not going anywhere near those sweaty sponge hoots that
They're literally freshly cleaned. These are the
oh
cleanest
God,
tits of the three.
they're not clean. They're
They're the
not
cleanest
clean.
of the three.
He wasn't
Jesus.
Tammy.
So my note is
Yeah.
my note is trans boobs, old boobs, and small wieners. I've had enough, sir.
Where's it?
Stop raping, sir.
Weird exchange with Rue when she's kind of trying to manically question Fez about a gun. And then she plants this seed with Fez about Nate, but it's an interesting triangle because she doesn't really know the full story. If Nate thinks Jules has compromised the full story, he's gonna go psycho. And Fez only has a snapshot of it, knows even less than what Rue knows. And I did think it was funny though when she said she was just spitballing, like I thought it was just like a brainstorm session, but she's obviously planted the seed. But then the other drug guy shows up, like Salo Tuamonka's trans brother shows
Mouse.
up.
Mouse is back.
And we get this kind of eat us all thing with the pills and Rue, but it seems like she holds strong here, which credit to her for that. She's not supposed to leave the room though, but I guess she does in the middle of all of it, but sneaks out.
Do you know what this scene reminded me of?
What's that, Z?
The "Don't sell me, Ed" scene from Good Burger.
I am familiar with Keenan and Kel from their work on
The burgers are
Nickelodeon,
floating
but
around and
not
don't
the
sell.
movie. I
I
didn't
think it
see
was
the
like
movie.
once Kurt offered him the money for the secret sauce
I did.
recipe. I believe that was it.
I didn't see the movie. I watched Keenan and Kel the show though, because it was always on before Are You Afraid of the Dark? Dan, any thoughts?
Never watched any of it.
God, you guys lack culture.
They didn't have it in Vietnam. See, that was
Gary has an uncle who fought in Vietnam.
that's not crazy.
Yes, it is.
Were his
That's
feet
so
amputated?
old.
How old's your dad?
He's gonna be 64 this year.
He could have been a Nam.
Is this true?
At 14?
He's closer to Dan than he's closer than Dan to Nam. I think it's like right between my dad's age and your dad's age.
How old is your dad?
74.
I feel like that would be the age for it.
He wasn't close to a draft, I don't think. I don't know how he got out of it. I think he was 16 because he's
Yeah.
54.
He
So
was the
he
young
was
end of
just
it.
under, yeah. And my
When
mom is
was the
probably your dad's age. So did Jules, this isn't a train joke, but did she take a train or a bus, Dan? Double decker?
I think that was a bus. That's a good question. And
Do we
I wasn't
think
sure how far she went.
I think this is a fictional universe, but did she go? She had to gone to I think it's supposed to be in the Northwest, right? Allegedly, this show.
No, I thought this is like Orange County.
Oh, I figured she went to San Francisco
So that was
or
my first guess, but my
Seattle.
second was like, how's living in the suburbs? And I thought maybe she just went to downtown LA.
Where does no, you wouldn't need like a big ass bus for that. Euphoria take place. East Highland, California, I guess. So it is a fictional town, but it's filmed in Los Angeles, outside Los Angeles.
Yeah, I
I
want to see one of
figured
the next episodes is like the Highland Winter Ball or something like that.
Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, it looked a lot more Seattle or San Francisco-y to me.
Except there
I
were palm trees when Jules gets on the roof.
Okay, I just meant like the Subaru
The
of it
down.
all.
Oh, I see where you're going now.
It's all part of the ambiance. How shocked were you that Pat didn't have a Subaru Z?
What did she drive?
I don't even know. It was some
It probably
boxy
was. It
vehicle.
was probably a freaking WRX.
Any comments on that person?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, what are they?
I don't even know a pronoun to use.
I
Jim.
said, upon seeing her friend from back home, Jules might be seeking out these
folk.
how do you say it? More
Ge-
masculine type of
ge-
lesbians?
Gender benders.
Masculine lesbians as best friends so that she can use them while they simp for her, and then she can ask, I didn't ask for any of
See,
this.
thank you. There's a little bit of that going on, isn't there?
Yeah, I didn't realize it until okay, because before that, it just reminded me of Siobhan. Like, I thought, oh, I was like, wait, is she gay? Then I felt guilty. Oh, did I make her think I was gay? And I'm like trying to figure out like what
I think
jokes
Siobhan
or
was just drunk and high, but go ahead.
I didn't know she drank like that. I was like, oh my God, did I make her think that I was gay? So then I felt guilty, like I was wasting her time.
I think
And like,
Siobhan is more like Cassie, who instead of people asking her to film, they just asked her to kiss chicks, and so she did it. I think that's where Siobhan was coming from, is just from
see,
alcoholism and kissing chicks
I
drunk.
thought like Jules was in that position. Oh crap, like I made her like think I was interested. So and now like she's so invested, like I would feel bad like turning her down or like ending this or whatever. Except I was like, I gotta
I mean,
leave.
both of these people, Anna and
I had a car, Jules doesn't.
whoever this other gentleman was, they both were grooming her basically, right? Like they set up this whole thing with her, like they got her drugs, they
I feel like she's
set
just
the
doing what she
table.
does. This is like what she likes to
Are you
do.
aren't you like castrating her now? Go
Well, and
ahead.
this is also her wanting to get away from the whole Nate situation because it's too much and she had to act out and forget herself. This is also
Yeah.
where the episode really took a downturn for me. Like I
Yeah,
checked out a little bit.
this wasn't a highlight. This was a little season 2 episode 80 or like 8, the episode 8 like side story with 11. That was a little bit about this
Dream
was.
The
sequence.
other sister? You're saying this is the other sister?
Yeah,
Wait, the
instead of like
movie?
exploring her powers, it was just exploring her
Sexuality. She's
yeah,
talking Stranger Things,
her
Z.
queerism. But yeah, what did you
Look up
make,
the movie The Other Sister when you're done with this.
Dan? What did you make of the up there Mana MPHP? Like she's gonna level up. You might have skipped through that. Did you
I
miss
think
her?
I did. I think I z'd through pretty much most of this.
Okay.
I okay, I think that I did forget about the age gap. This would be grooming, but and then just statutory rape. But
And then drugging. And it doesn't seem like she was a
did
drugged
she
person.
not want? Dude, she loves drugs. What do you
Does
mean?
she? I thought she was only a drinker. I didn't know she was a drugger.
I think she likes to
Well, then
party
why does she say to Drew she can't do drugs?
because she is an
Because Rue
addict. There's
can't
a
handle it.
difference. Yeah, there's a difference.
No,
There's
Drew can handle it. She can take 11 Vicodin, a bottle
yeah.
of tequila, and show up to school the next day.
No,
Go
because
ahead.
she would
I'm
do
kidding.
that plus one more Vicodin the
No,
next day.
I have a
no,
question. Is that a white monster on the counter behind Z?
no.
That's
It's a dot. Is it a Diet Coke or
Guys,
Coors?
guys, it's a actually I forgot that was there. It's a generic Dr. Pepper from Walmart
Oh,
called
Jesus. So
Diet
you didn't
Dr.
even.
Dr.
Thunder.
Thunder?
Diet
Jesus.
Dr. Thunder. Dude, it's
Is,
24 pack for
tell me,
$9.50.
tell
Don't
me,
scare me like that.
when did Diet Dr. Thunder groom you?
I like don't I did this just come out because I had never seen this before and I because like I started drinking soda when I was like pregnant because water made me nauseous and so I like have a diet soda like every day and it was really insulting at dinner. Eleanor is drinking Gary's Diet Pepsi and then he's careful Eleanor you're gonna get addicted like mom and I was like you have diabetes and who got addicted first? But
That's how you got
yeah,
the
You can tell
kids.
times are rough in the old Z household when they're drinking the Diet Dr.
When
Thunder and
they're
not going to
arguing
Publix.
when they're arguing over their Dr. Thunders.
hey, I will order $40 in Indian food every day, but if I can save money on diet soda, I don't know. I feel it makes
So
me feel
will
he makes me feel guilty because I like
your
shouldn't
sister
even be drinking it.
your sister will also order $40 of Indian food every day on your parents' tab. So
She doesn't have their tab. She has to
let's
meet guys the old-fashioned way.
on Tinder. Is she still together with Gary the Third?
Yes, so they have a lease.
Oh, okay. Speaking of which, her queerness is infinite, or queerness as a whole is infinite. I don't know. What did you make of the Cassie? Oh, I keep forgetting to tell you, Z, I have a voodoo grape monster I'm waiting to unleash, but I haven't had a monster in 10 months probably. So I'll let you know how it goes when I try it. What did you make of the McKay Cassie scene, Dan?
Remind me a little bit because I'm a little off track where we are.
Cassie
I'm
admitted that she
pregnant.
was pregnant, and you really aren't thinking about having this kid,
Oh,
are you? What the my parents are gonna kill
Wait,
me? This is real.
Craig, let's do it for him. I'm pregnant.
You're not really
enough
thinking
time,
this
Z.
kid, are you? What the my parents are gonna kill me? This is real. You don't really want this.
I guess you're right. You do really like school.
I'm saying we don't do it. I thought it was funny that it is like I'm in college and it's like she's in high
I'm
school.
in college. This is really important.
Yeah.
I got a lot of going on.
I could be going pro.
I
Yeah.
thought this was not a good McKay scene.
Yeah,
And
obviously.
like, if she was on the fence, like, he's no help here.
For
So
sure.
obviously, it's a tricky subject.
He's voicing his opinion though. He shouldn't be like,
All of
yes,
a
I can't
sudden
wait,
their
and then just
opinions
did.
all of a sudden their opinions matter.
He didn't take the necessary precautions, assumedly, and does have a lot to do with his ultimate reality.
At least we know that this didn't happen on the night he was butt raped because she was wiping her back after that scene. So it didn't happen then. Also, we didn't cover, but we found out that dude didn't come inside of her. He came like on top of her. So Cat did not. Might have still taken it raw though. Anything else from this pregnancy here scene here, Z? Or the big whatever.
The
Don't have the
reveal.
baby. Don't have
I
the
don't know.
baby scene.
I think he's just being realistic, and if he like gave her false hope, that would be worse. We're gonna be a happy family, and I'm really excited. But then like he just chooses school and his frat like over actually spending time with her and the baby. That would be
Almost like a girl who asks you to get him pregnant and then aborts the baby right after.
no, this would be with the baby. This would be a
So
living baby.
Cat's new like donor is pretty creepy, right? This black screen guy. Do we think this is Nate's dad too, or Nate? Like it's probably not them, but I just go back to that again. Or
Do
is
you
like
think it's like somebody in universe? I was thinking maybe even Ethan.
I
or
was worried that it's Maddie.
or like Mouse?
Yeah,
No
probably
idea.
not Mouse. Mouse could pull better.
Mouse doesn't know how to use a laptop.
Is it Ashtray? That would be funny. That would be the most funniest
It's
Yo,
it's
I pay you in
Fez-
crypto.
Fesco's mom.
She's not so dead.
That's why no video, because she like can only type. She can't talk or see.
She was on the island with Stephen Hawking Jr.
I said to my dad, I was like, I gotta figure out what we need Garrison's speech therapist to report back to the school district to get him one of those Stephen Hawking chairs. Just so we can go to the front of the line on like rides and when we go places.
Plus, you can get better seats at Monster Truck.
Boom, yeah, dude. Probably like front, like
Because
in
you
the
couldn't get worse seats.
in the 300s, there were no wheelchair seats, so that's actually correct.
So I guess me being the hopeless, whatever I am, the Don Quixote that I am, I was glad to see Fezgo. Like, I didn't like him getting baited into this, but it was nice to see someone stick up for these girls a little bit with Nate, because Nate's such a psycho. But I also hate him getting thrown in the middle of this. But the fact that Nate was so likely to confront and antagonize him was an interesting choice. He called Fezco half a retard, go for yourself. What did you make of this dick measuring contest, Dan?
I thought it was actually interesting where I appreciated Fesco for sticking up for Rue. I could also see Nate's point of view or who the f you? And even though I don't really like Nate, I can appreciate like some pissant thinking they're going to make a threat and coming over the top.
Your thoughts. Dan is pro Nate here.
No, I'm just saying.
Still stuck on this cat thing. Can I say 3 people that I think it could be?
Oh, we've got
Oh.
theory corner for Z. Go for it.
Maddie.
Are they likable or unlikable is my question.
Go ahead,
Love them
Maddie.
all. Love them all. Maddie, Ethan,
I said that one.
Daniel,
Okay.
and one fun one, the principal.
Jessica Z is going to guess everyone again. So
It's
yeah,
funny you say that, see.
yeah, I just thought that was
Stefan knew about the first video, so he might be able to find the rest of them.
You might be onto something.
that's funny. Z, any other thoughts on this specific scene though with Nate though? Nate and Fesco. Any comments there?
Yeah. One of you pointed out how like he didn't even have a quarter of the story or like quarter of the
Yeah,
facts
I
or
mean
whatever.
he's just
But
protecting Rue.
I feel like he just knows that Rue has a tendency to piss people off and just get herself into bad situations. So I think that's nice of him.
I think he has a level
But
of care for Rue,
I
maybe even romantically. I mean,
I
he's
feel
sisterly here, but it's like, what else does he have in his life besides Ashtray and Saggy Hoots McGee?
I feel like that, yeah, and like I feel hey, they're just trying to pay the mortgage, dude. I feel like they have I don't this could have been like a keep your enemies close sort of thing. I don't think he needed to like say anything. But
But I think,
wow, Nate fought.
but I think Nate kind of showed his ass. Like Nate could have just downplayed it, and that would have been the smarter thing to do here. But now Fezco realizes there's something to what Rue was saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think Mouse is gonna kill Nate.
I hope somebody kills Nate.
Do you
I'm
think he's gonna
anti
kill his
Nate.
dad?
Oh, yeah. I was forgetting about the end, but we'll get there. So, yeah, I guess we're here now. But Nate reports this crime. Dan had jumped the lead by talking about Rue reporting a crime earlier. But Nate goes full retard here, you might say. Dan, any thoughts on that?
Just one last thing on the previous scene. I like the way that it escalated as they're feeling each other out, where Nate's kind of doing, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And eventually it gets to the point where Fesco's like, he starts out like, so let's just say, and he like gives Nate every opportunity to like back away and back down. He's okay, you keep pressing them, I'm gonna kill you. And that's the point that it basically gets to in their interaction. And I like the way how like it just naturally came to that point, and that'll be $5. So the fact that like Nate is a great manipulator, but he's also like an evil genius strategist with some of this stuff. Like I was curious like how long Fesco and Ashtray can go on living in this place with all this heat around them. And the fact that it comes due this soon in the show with the cops showing up, I thought was really interesting.
And we know that he just made him take on all those extra drugs too. And then now he's triply because he has to flush it all. Just bad across the board here.
Yeah, with no income to pay for it.
And unfortunately, this is kind of Jules trying to be on the good side of things, and she's still damaging the people around her, unfortunately. So I think that's probably going to bear some fruit as we go. What did you so Jules does drugs, she's pulling Anna for both Rue and I guess that this Tyler thing was a Damon Dream sequence.
Nate,
Yeah, Nate says I'm Tyler eventually, like when she says I hate you, Nate, and he's I'm Tyler, and it's all pretty weird. I think Jules sucks for some of this. I think Rue has been toeing the line either as a friend or otherwise. I get the pressure. This kind of sucks. Your thoughts, Dan?
I see Jules as more of a tragic figure than somebody that sucks. Like Nate is the one that pressed her to the point of needing to like get away and escape. And maybe she didn't make a good choice as far as where to go. But obviously what's in her subconscious is coming forth during this drug trip. But her first like somewhat sober reaction is to reach out to Rue. So I
But
give her
that's the
credit.
worst part of it. That's why she sucks even more. It's like the girl that texts right after she gets done cheating how much she loves somebody. It's you almost
Well,
know what happened when that text
given that
comes.
whole scene, it's hard to figure out what was fantasy and what was reality and what was a
Well,
drug trip.
I think it's pretty clear that was her first like real lesbian experience, which they set up. So it's like not only does she have all these other bodies, she doesn't do this with the person that cares about her and now just bang some rando. Z, your thoughts?
On Jules being a whore.
Yeah.
I mean, she was like rolling, dude. She had no control over what was happening.
So, couple other interesting things. Cassie kind of her mom is going to support her with this baby situation. We assume she's not going to have it. but she asks her mom for help. And then we get the wax and wane of it all with Rue. But I did think her mom like has been annoying in spurts, but I thought this was like the best her mom had been with her, kind of tolerating her as she's going through the spell and understanding it. Like she didn't react as negatively as you would have thought, maybe. And I did think like her trying to encourage her about getting this is her getting healthy by not reverting back to the drugs up till now, which I do commend Rue on. Your thoughts here, Dan?
I agree with what you said about the mom. This is probably the best of her. I think Rue's definitely on an uptick. She hasn't been all squeaky clean, but this has been good to this point. I was thinking that if I'm Rue's mom, I'm not seeing her collapsed on the floor here and thinking the same thing. Credit to her, I suppose.
Z, your thoughts on any of this wrapping up the episode and the Rue of it all?
It's just nice that they all seem to have parents to go to. I think like McKay was able to go to his dad at the end of last episode. It's just nice to see. Except for Jules, she goes to the city.
And she has a pretty okay dad for her
Right?
situation.
Like I
But
feel like if she tried to talk to him, he would maybe be like caring, but she doesn't.
they're all missing a parent to drugs. We didn't really put a bow on Cassie's dad, but he's pretty much a mess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just glad he stole drugs and didn't try to like rape her or something. I was glad.
Whoa, inappropriate.
He's meet me in the garage at 1 a.m. Don't tell your mom hasn't talked to her. I was just glad there wasn't like an.
Well, because he was gonna rob her.
I didn't know he was gonna rob her. That's what
What
I'm
did you
saying. I
think he
was
wanted? You
glad
think he wanted to have sex with his daughter? You think dude,
They
every
did
mom
the
wanted to have sex with
they
him. Why
did
would
the
he need
they
to do
did the
that?
creepy uncle thing. Like I was just you don't know what this person's background is to make her so up.
Speaking of
He was
creepy
not a
uncles, that was
molesting
kind of
dad.
cringy.
I was saying I'm just thankful he wasn't. Go
No one
ahead.
starts
The
molesting their
her
kid.
coming of age with all the creepy uncles was like that was pretty cringy.
Yeah, it was not
For
fun. Not a fun
sure.
watch. So yeah, I think what do you guys make? And I think we're watching a lot of this at once. This is very much in the high school age, which we're hoping season 3 they're older. So that was more encouraging of why I wanted to watch it at the same time as everybody else. Versus this was never going to be right up our alley. But with that said, I think it's filmed well. I think there's some interesting character dynamics, like not only the age, but I don't think any of us love watching like drug stuff. We
Was Nate never there in the
n-
city?
correct. I believe he was never there. Correct.
And she
I
was
think
like
she
thinking violent
she
things,
was
but
fan,
doing nice stuff
she
down
was
there.
well no, so she was fantasizing about him but being in control of the sex more, I think. Because it's like she's clearly there's an attraction there, but she was like mixing that. Yeah, kind of like the dad banging her, but reverse, getting that control back, or your buddy
Yeah, I guess
McKay's
she was.
girlfriend.
I
She was
I
going
didn't
from
see her like doing any
it was when the girl was going down on her, but she was like
envisioning herself like tackling him, but it wasn't doing anything.
she was flipping fantasies from like that and then thinking about Rue and then there was a lot of things going on. But ultimately they banged of sorts, like whatever bang means for them, but they had an experience together. Pat was sitting there with his hairy leg in the corner, the Subaru car keys poking out. Like he still had, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I gotta find out what car she was driving.
So yeah, but I was just circling around too. I think we've got some interesting characters. There's merit to this show. It's maybe not right up our alley, but it's not terrible. Dan.
I'd agree with that. I say like the story is what really takes center stage in the episodes that I like. When it can do something that I don't see expected or all the links between the characters. Yeah, there's not a lot of characters I like, but there's at least five that I don't hate. So there's that.
Do we want to cover the 5 characters you don't hate, Dan, or that you think are not pieces of
Yeah, if we're winding down, that's probably a good place to go to.
Okay,
I
so
have
how
an
do you want to do
honorable
this?
mention and I have a top five.
Okay, so do you want us to guess or do you want to just give it or how do you want to do this?
I'll let you guys each take a turn guessing and we'll see how we do.
Okay, I've got Ashtray.
Number one on the board, survey says thing, but that's easy.
On mine too.
Okay, so you have a separate board. What is Fezco on both your boards?
No.
Dan?
He's a
Number
drug
5.
dealer.
He's
Okay, yeah.
number 5 on my.
I think I would have Fez on the board. Jessica has half these creepy guys. So Jessica's board has McKay,
Yeah, he is on there.
of
What number,
course.
Jess?
I didn't do a certain
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Okay. So you've got Ashtray, you've got McKay, you've probably got Cat on there, Z.
No, I don't.
What about Daniel?
No.
Dan, on your list, number 3, I'm gonna guess the dad of Jules.
Not on my list.
Did we already say Lexi?
We haven't yet, but she should probably be there. Is she on your list, Dan?
Number 2.
Whoop.
Good job, Z. What about on your list? So she's
What's
on
on
yours.
what's next on your list, Z?
Wait.
Because
wait,
you're
I wanna
guessing
guess
Anne's left.
Anne's.
That's what you're doing
Yeah.
effectively, though. But go ahead.
Oh,
I'm just saying your list is probably a guess.
Gia.
She is not on my list.
Mina.
Mina, no way on my list.
She's on
Do you
mine.
know me?
All right.
Like literally, my list is literally just Mina's name 5 times. 4 times. Then there's Ashtray.
Who's your last 2, Dan?
So I've got an honorable mention that I'll put on there,
Okay.
where I'll actually say Ethan.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Oh, fuck.
Maybe.
I forgot about him.
Go ahead.
Okay. So
More
you
like
got Fesco
eat, more like eat thin, am I right? Go ahead. Or eat thick. Go ahead.
So you got 5 Fesco. Number 4.
Jules sucks.
Just back off a sec. You had your
Mina.
chance.
Cassie. Mina.
Say Mina 5 more times, please.
Wait, do you want to know how I knew how to say her name?
You studied the Latin origin of it?
Monaco is how, like, she said it. And I remember because I said it rhymes with Ninjago.
Ha! That's a good reference.
Thank you.
Okay. So if I could get back to my number 4, an undervalued performance is the high school principal.
That pervert?
Okay.
He's not a pervert until
okay,
he
then why
turns
did he
up
give
his...
Kat that $300 to get naked?
Yeah, we'll see if that all checks out. I'm not that far in the series.
I'm gonna say the same thing about Ethan.
Okay, so
That pervert.
1 and 2 you got, but number 3, the mystery 3 hole, Z, you actually said.
Jules. Cassie.
I don't mind Jules.
Mina. Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
rough.
Jules. I like Jules.
Yeah, you do. We know that.
Yeah, no, I do too. She was on my list.
Family Jules.
Have we not mentioned any of yours, Z?
No, so she was Ashtray, McKay, Lexi, Gia, Mina.
Jules.
Jules is in her 6th
Mina
hole.
was an honorary, like, guest.
So the only characters I don't hate are Ashtray, Fezco,
Why not? Why do
Cass-
you think Fezco's a good person?
Cassie, Rue, and
Oh, Cassie, the only one with Cassie on his list.
Cassie, Rue, and Lexi. Those are
I
the
did
5 people I most want to see on my screen.
under my list. I did put Cassie seems to be an empath.
See?
See, the thing is, like, Craig, depending on Cassie, like Cassie before the pregnancy, yes. During the pregnancy, no.
Hell yeah!
After
During
the
the
pregnancy
pregnancy,
is
hell yeah!
terminated,
Those titties
back
are
in the
gonna.
game, baby.
Could you imagine what pregnancy will do those tits?
Woo, milkers.
We're gonna need a lot more CGI.
Who sits better in a movie, you or Eleanor?
Not Eleanor. She's been to 2 movies, and Gary and I split our time in the hallway, just chasing her, or like up and down the hallway the entire time.
Yeah.
My dad saw Eleanor sleeping on the couch, and the kids are asleep, by the way. And he was like, he took a look at her, and she still sleeps with her eyes open. She's the devil woman. He's been
Seems
having
accurate.
he's been having a tough time with her attitude.
One of the
See,
oth-
if I was a theater owner, I would pay Eleanor to just run up and down the aisles during The Conjuring or something like that. That would be like the best way to freak out an audience you could ever do.
I think
Oh,
during
she would be
Child's
good
Play
at
or,
it.
or Megan would be pretty good too.
Oh,
Though.
yeah, dress her up as Megan for Halloween.
Yeah, and just let her loose in the theater, huh? That's what we want to
That would be
see.
good. We grew her
Yeah.
hair out for a reason.
I do have to say, Craig, I got a glimpse into the doting wife, Jessica Z, this week. She was texting me for all sorts of diabetic footwear advice for Gary,
Okay.
as like somebody that sincerely cares. And
Surprise, I'm a romantic.
like somebody that doesn't even have a dog in the race, I just decided to take the opportunity to all over them both.
Cool. That's a good move, I think. All right,
I
let's.
actually laughed out loud. Like, it was
Okay,
funny.
good.
I read
It
it to
was
my
at least
mom. She laughed.
You're not as close to losing your toes as Gary, I assume.
Oh, dude, I felt bad for him because in the car, like, we got ice cream and a cookie from Costco.
Yeah.
And I was telling him on the way home, I was like, I guess things always do happen for a reason. Because when you lose your toes, we'll be able to share shoes.
and
He was
I
telling,
Aqua socks should be the most flexible footwear. Go ahead.
he was complaining to me that now that he has diabetes and diabetic neuropathy in his feet, that he like the shells hurt his feet too much. And I was like, I thought neuropathy was where you can't feel. Like this
yeah,
should be great
that
for you. That
bullshit
should
line right there.
which
Like you
one?
should be thankful for the shells for making your feet hurt. But you do
Yeah,
get
that's how
like
you know they're
stinging
still working.
sensations.
I guess the thing would be like is it like a leper where he doesn't know when he's getting like sharp shards into his
Yeah,
feet and
they
then
just
he
fall
like
off.